On Tisha B'Av, we mourn the destruction of the temple, the house of God, the place where we would perform our holy rituals, the place where we thanked God, praised God, and repented to God by means of korbanot, or sacrifices. The Gemara explains that the temple was destroyed because of sinat chinam, because of the hatred Bnei Israel harbored between one another. During the time leading up to the destruction, God used the prophets as his mouthpiece to speak to Bnei Israel and deliver messages that could possibly shake them and get them back on the right path. But Bnei Israel failed to listen, and the temple was ultimately destroyed. But what we learn as we read these writings of the prophets is how seriously God takes it when man treats man improperly. We learn that if we want to find most favor in God's eyes, we have to first treat each other with love, respect, and dignity. You can be perfect towards God, but if you are not perfect towards man, everything else is meaningless. As God says in the book of Yeshayahu, "Bring no more vain offerings. Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Learn to do well, seek justice, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow." Bnei Israel failed to honor social justice, and that right there is the biggest failure of all. The Gemara explains that the first Beit HaMikdash was destroyed because of Giloi Arayot, forbidden relationships, Avodat Zarah, idol worship, and Shvichut Damim, murder. During the first Beit HaMikdash, the sins of Bnei Israel were apparent and in your face. During the second Beit HaMikdash, the sins of Bnei Israel were hidden and beneath the surface. While they showed themselves to be one way on the outside, they were another on the inside. The Gemara explains that while Bnei Israel showed themselves to be following the ways of God, in their hearts they were evil. They had it all twisted. Whether it was through their korbanot or their rituals practiced, they believed simply doing the physical service of God was enough. That's why God tells Bnei Israel as they fasted in the book of Yeshayahu, and I quote, "Is such the fast a desire, a day for men to starve their bodies? Do you call that a fast, a day when the Lord is favorable? No, this is the fast of desire, to unlock chains of wickedness. It is to share your bread with the hungry and take the poor into your home. When you see the naked, clothe him, and don't ignore your own people." We learned that you could be the most strict with the letter of the law. You could follow as many commandments as you want, but if you are failing to be pure in your heart, if you are failing to be righteous, not towards God, but towards people, it's simply not enough. So okay, we had this problem of sinat chinam, but why did God destroy our temple as a punishment for that? If anything, destroying the temple could possibly make it worse. You would think having a temple, a place where we could connect to God, would possibly inspire us, help us to be better, more pure. But no, God took our temple away from us, so why? Well, the way we would express ourselves to God in the Beit HaMikdash was done in a physical manner, by doing korbanot. You wouldn't express yourself to God internally the way we do now through prayer. Because you would express yourself to God through korbanot, you could literally see how much you gave to God. Because of this, it was easy to appear to be someone you were not. Using korbanot was such a beautiful and powerful way of communicating with God, but perhaps Bnei Israel weren't capable of using them in the right way. The korbanot weren't the problem. It was Bnei Israel's perspective that may have been. Maybe the physical and overt nature of the korbanot only emphasized their flawed belief that your relationship to God was about your outward appearance, and they couldn't extract the spirituality out of it. The state of the nation wasn't fitting for this means of communication anymore. They now needed prayer, a more internal and quiet way of communicating with God. This Tisha B'Av, let's not fall into the trap of practicing our religion from the outside. Let's practice the religion from the inside and perfect what matters, our heart. And remember, if you fast today, please also help that friend who's hurting. If you fast today, please also refrain from speaking Lashon Hara. If you fast today, please also keep in mind those who are in need of a little extra help, because that is truly honoring Hashem in the way He desires it most.